In the dark, swirling mists of deep space, among the stars that shimmer like silent witnesses, an organism unlike any other was born, not from nature's slow hand, but from terror, instinct, and biological perfection. The facehugger, a grotesque marvel of biomechanical evolution, did not emerge through centuries of adaptation on a serene planet. Instead, its genesis lies tangled in the web of engineered horror, crafted perhaps not by natural selection but by intentional design, and honed through the ruthless laws of survival. Its journey, from a single adaptive creature to a symbol of alien dread, mirrors the paths of ancient predators, but on a galactic scale. In every timeline, in every adaptation, the facehugger has remained committed to its sole purpose, the continuation of its species through the most violent and intimate form of reproduction. It begins, as all life does, with a host. The facehugger has no need for diplomacy or deception. It operates with frightening simplicity. Once the xenomorph egg, known as the ovomorph, detects a nearby life form, it reacts with ferocity, opening like a blooming flower from hell. The facehugger springs forth, 8 long, finger-like appendages flailing, its underside wet and pulsing, a tail lashing like a whip. In moments, it finds the host's face, latches on with unbreakable grip, and begins its silent work. The host is rendered unconscious, but kept alive, a vital incubator for the embryonic xenomorph, which is implanted via an organ-like proboscis into the host's throat. But the question remains, how did this creature come to be? Was it born purely from the mind of a nightmarish god? Or did it evolve slowly and agonizingly, through eons of struggle and forced adaptation? The facehugger, as seen in modern interpretations, sleek, spider-like, and unrelenting, may very well be the pinnacle of a long evolutionary ladder. Primitive versions might have lacked the ability to keep the host alive, resulting in too many losses. Some ancestors might have failed to fully implant the embryo, wasting the precious genetic investment. Over time, these failed models were weeded out by the harsh rules of survival, until only the most efficient iteration remained. The planet where the first facehuggers emerged is unknown. Perhaps it doesn't even exist anymore. Some claim they originated on LV 426, the desolate moon where human contact with the xenomorph began. Others point to LV 223, where the engineers, a mysterious and godlike alien species, may have played a role in the creature's design. If the facehugger is a product of intelligent engineering, it is one of the most effective biological weapons ever conceived. The engineer's biotechnological mastery was legendary, and the facehugger may be their attempt to harness life itself as a vector for extinction. As centuries passed, the facehugger's design adapted in terrifying ways. While the classic model is known to fans of science fiction for its leathery texture, whip-like tail, and bone-white undercarriage, rare variants have been encountered, stronger, faster, and more specialized. Some possess thicker carapaces, able to survive more extreme environments. Others had longer implantation periods, allowing for multiple hosts in succession, though these variants were less stable. There is even whispered speculation among certain researchers that a queen facehugger exists, larger and more intelligent, able to implant royal embryos that grow into xenomorph queens rather than common drones. These elite versions suggest a form of hierarchy embedded within the facehugger's genetics, a biological blueprint for species continuation and expansion. Despite its simplicity, the facehugger represents a form of genius. Unlike parasites that merely feed off a host's energy, this creature implants an entirely new organism, then dies, having fulfilled its one and only purpose. There is no wasted movement, no need for excess. It does not digest food, build nests, or compete for mates. Its life is a single, unbroken mission. The moment it detects a viable host, its internal clock begins ticking. If it fails, it dies. If it succeeds, it dies. In both scenarios, the organism gives itself completely to the next generation, a biological martyr. Its method of incubation is grotesque but effective. Once the embryo is implanted, the facehugger detaches and dies shortly after. The host awakens, unaware of the monstrous miracle growing inside them. This deceptive dormancy is perhaps the facehugger's greatest evolutionary adaptation, the ability to leave no trace, no warning. Hours later, the host experiences unbearable pain as the embryo matures rapidly and violently escapes through the ribcage, birthing the infamous chestburster. This act often kills the host, but by then, the facehugger's role is long complete. It has ensured the survival of the xenomorph bloodline. As humans ventured further into space, the facehugger's encounters with them revealed its terrifying efficiency. Entire colonies were wiped out in days once a few ovomorphs hatched. Military units tried to capture them, to weaponize the facehugger for use against enemies. But each time, containment failed. For all its primitive design, the facehugger was impossible to tame. One host was all it needed, and from that point, chaos became inevitable. Human arrogance often led to disaster. Attempts to study the facehugger only ended in death, or worse, infestation. Some corporations, most infamously Weyland-Yutani, even sanctioned live experiments, willingly sacrificing humans for the sake of scientific advancement. Their reward was annihilation. The facehugger's life cycle, once understood, led many xenobiologists to call it the perfect predator. Not because it hunts with claws or teeth, but because it subverts life itself. It does not need to chase prey or fight rivals. It uses the host's own body to replicate its species, an insidious strategy that leaves destruction in its wake. It has no need for communication, no civilization, no learning curve. Its instincts are so finely tuned that it can find, attach to, and implant a host within seconds of exposure. Evolution has granted it every advantage: speed, grip strength, reproductive efficiency, and biological stealth. With time, the facehugger's image became iconic, a symbol of body horror and existential dread. Artists, philosophers, and even spiritual thinkers tried to find deeper meaning in its existence. Some saw it as a metaphor for the loss of bodily autonomy, others as a cruel mirror of human reproductive fears. Entire religions on distant colonies arose around the creature, worshipping it as a divine force of rebirth and destruction. One cult believed the facehugger to be a test sent by alien gods to judge whether a species deserved to survive. Whether these interpretations hold any truth is irrelevant. The creature does not seek worship. It only seeks to implant. There are, however, rare accounts of facehuggers failing. Some hosts, either due to genetic incompatibility or immune responses, have rejected the embryo. In those cases, the xenomorph embryo either mutates or dies inside the host. These anomalies have led to hybrid versions, grotesque fusions of human and xenomorph traits. These hybrids are often unstable, but occasionally they surpass the original xenomorphs in intelligence or strength. Again, nature experiments blindly, and the facehugger is merely the starting point for the chaos that follows. Some theorists have proposed an unsettling idea, that the facehugger is not the earliest stage of the xenomorph life cycle, but a midway point. Before the egg, before the embryo, something else may exist, something that generates the ovomorphs themselves. If the queen xenomorph lays the eggs, what created her? What gave rise to the very first queen? Is there a prime organism, hidden deep in the stars, spawning whole generations of facehuggers to act as its messengers of reproduction? The answer remains buried in myth and conjecture, but the question haunts scientists and survivors alike. Time has not dulled the facehugger's lethality. On distant outposts, where humans continue to push the boundaries of colonization, ovomorphs still sit in stasis, waiting for vibrations, for movement, for life. In those silent halls and dark caverns, the facehugger waits. It has no need for progress, no desire for change. Evolution may have refined its form, but its core has remained the same for millennia. This constancy is what makes it terrifying. Unlike humans, it is not plagued by questions of morality or ethics. It is not slowed by emotion. It exists beyond fear or compassion. It does not evolve to coexist, it evolves to survive. Stories of facehugger encounters have become legends among interstellar travelers. There is the tale of a soldier who cut off his own face to avoid implantation, or the pilot who ejected himself into space rather than risk carrying a chestburster aboard his ship. These tales often blur fact and fiction, but they all carry the same warning. When you see the egg open, it is already too late. In the face of such relentless evolution, one might wonder if any defense is possible. Some researchers developed early warning biosensors to detect ovomorph emissions. Others built flame-retardant suits or devised electrical deterrents. Yet none of these countermeasures guarantee safety. The facehugger's speed and precision mean that even the best-prepared teams often lose members in the first minute of exposure. The only real defense is distance. Do not approach the egg. Do not breathe near it. Do not blink. Despite centuries of human advancement, the facehugger endures. It has no culture, no art, no architecture, and yet it thrives. It transcends language and species. It reshapes entire ecosystems, cultures, and civilizations in its wake. Its simplicity is deceptive, for in that simplicity lies an algorithm of survival so perfect that even the most advanced minds struggle to understand it fully. The facehugger is not evil. It is not good. It simply is. A creature born of function, forged by necessity, and fueled by the eternal drive to propagate. In the endless dark, where time folds into silence, the facehugger continues its journey. It waits, ever patient, ever poised. For every advancement made by humankind, for every attempt to escape the nightmares of their own making, there lies a single, undeniable truth. The facehugger needs only a moment, a breath, a heartbeat. And in that instant, the past, present, and future collapse into one. A legacy carried not by kings or conquerors, but by a creature that wears no crown, only the face of its host.